Alright, you guys, so we're gonna try this again. Went on a ride the other day with my son and my wife. Somehow the GoPro was not recording, so we're gonna take another cruise here. Alright. So I told you guys about them frame sliders, the top ones, so that's how it's working for foot pegs for him. So he said he loved it. He said he was super comfortable. So alright, we won't delay any further. We'll get on the road here, you guys. Just want to kind of take a quick scoot through town. I'm gonna have to stop and get some fuel. I believe the wife's gonna have to stop and get some fuel as well. And then we'll stop over at my father-in-law's house. So it's crazy. This weekend was 80 some degrees. Right now it's 85 degrees in Ohio. Yesterday it was 83 degrees in Ohio. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 70s, and then it's going to drop back down in the 50s again, and they say we may get some snow at the end of the week. So welcome to Ohio, you guys. I'm just happy my son's doing pretty good on the back of the bike. Wanted him to get used to this bike before we go out to Sturgis, because he will be on the back of my bike in Sturgis with me. Unlike most people, we don't get babysitters. We don't really have family or friends that watch our son. So whenever we go somewhere, it's just us, and kind of prefer it that way. But it just makes it a little difficult. It was at first. When he was younger, we couldn't get him on the bike. Like I said, I went to Maggie Valley. We were in North Carolina, and her mom took a day off from riding with her dad and watched him for us, so we actually got to go out on the bikes for a day or two. And then when we went to Colorado, the wife was driving him around in the truck. They went and did a couple things. I got to take the 550, the $1 Million Highway, and we got to have some good times. We always make it work. But this year now he's able to reach them top sliders. I put them DG top sliders on. He's able to reach those very well. He says super comfortable. Said it feels more comfortable than his dirt bike. So I said, all right, here we go. I'm gonna pull in here and get some fuel first. You're good? You okay? You could just stay on there, Bubs. I'm just filling up some gas, okay?
Yes, what? Daddy, was it only on that one? Or was it on the other? Double check me, but I think it's true.
You can figure it out.
Well, I'm already hung up anyways, but
Yeah. How much do you put in there? $2.29?
Yeah.
Are you up to where you could see it in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. That's a baby tank. Yeah, I put $11 in mine. All right. Make sure this thing's still on. Look at the lovely family out today. Filling up the bikes. Rocking and a-rolling. Of course, the wife's bike is a little more aggressive sounding than mine. She's got that slash cut exhaust. Definitely a nice looking bike. A little bit too small for me, but you know what, sometimes I get on that one and take that one around. So it's definitely fun. Them 1200s absolutely rip. They handle great. Super narrow bike. That one's got the wide tire on the front. The lean angles on it are amazing. So I was super happy when I got this new rear shock on this bike. You guys probably sick of hearing me talk about it, but man, is it amazing. Gives me a way better lean angle. Her bike's pretty cool, but I've caught myself wanting to drag pegs on it. Of course, she's got forward controls on it too, so. Absolutely beautiful day, and then the rest of this week is going to be horrible. 50 degrees, cold. Actually got to cut my grass yesterday, the first time all year that I got to cut it. So it was nice to do that, get that out of the way for this year. So my local Harley Davidson, well, one of the local ones, Warren Harley Davidson, they called me up. They got a 2022 Lowrider ST. He wants me to come look at it, but they only offered me $14,500 for the trade-in on my 2020, and I said no way. I said, yeah, maybe I'll come look at it, but get the carbon fiber fairing for my Lowrider S. I'm just gonna run this bike. I'll be ordering the exhaust and the tuner for this bike. So once I get the exhaust and once I get the tuner for this bike and I get that front fairing on it, put the cam in it over the winter, it'll be right where I want it to be. I got these thrashing saddlebags on here, so I don't really need the hard bags. I don't like the way that the hard bags look from Harley on the ST. One side being shorter than the other, so I'll stick with these thrashing ones. They do everything I need them to do. Had to wake my wife up. We had a lot to do today. He had a baseball game, came home from that, did a little bit of running around. Went and got some pizza, ate it at the park, came back to the house. I was getting a couple things ready, making sure that my GoPro was all set up so we could start filming this a little bit. And I come back in the living room and she was sleeping, so I said, what are we doing? We going for a ride or no? So she got up, we'll get on the bikes, do a quick scoot around town here. I really want to know how you guys feel about these these new models from Harley Davidson, the new Nightster, the Lowrider ST, the Street Glide, and the Road Glide STs. If you guys like them bikes, if you like what they're doing or not. How do you guys feel about the dual overhead cams, about the liquid cooled motorcycles coming out from Harley? You guys like those? You like the air cooled? I'm a big air cooled fan. I like the nostalgia of the bikes. Love the way they handle, the way they feel. So that's just kind of where I sit on it. I know everyone's different. I talked to some guys and they're loving these new bikes. They think they're the latest and greatest, the new future of Harley. That Nightster does have the ride modes on it, so it's definitely competing with a lot of these other mid-size cruisers out on the market right now with the ride modes and all the features, all the technology they got on it. So just really cool to see what they're doing, the way that they're taking the company. I've been saying it for years. If Harley doesn't switch up what they're doing, they're gonna lose us all. But they won't lose me. I love these bikes. I'll be riding. If Harley closes doors tomorrow, I'd be doing whatever I could to make sure this bike ran for a good 20, 30 years. And I know how you guys feel about Indian from talking to a lot of people. They all think Indian's pretty cool. They like the revamp, but I just can't get behind it. I've heard a couple horror stories about people getting the new Indians. Also, they'll say, oh, Indian was out since Harley Davidson and they're still around, but they're not. Indian is owned by Polaris. I don't know how many of you guys actually know that, but it's not a secret. Indian's owned by Polaris. They pretty much just bought the name, started bringing out these bikes. But honestly, Harley Davidson's the only company that stayed a company that's an American motorcycle manufacturer and is still out on the road right now. There are Harley Davidsons that are 1905s that are still running. To me, that's extremely impressive. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still got Cleveland motorcycles out there, 1900s, Hendersons, Excelsiors, and they're all still running too. But the fact that Harley is still in business and still making motorcycles, and honestly their design hasn't deviated that much from the bikes that first came out, but I mean, they're keeping up with the power, definitely keeping up power wise with a lot of other heavy hitters in the industry. So I really like that a lot. I can hear my son on the Bluetooth talking to my wife. That's pretty cool. Any of you guys have any experience with these Bluetooth headsets? Let me know. I bought a Lexan FT4 Pro. I absolutely love it. My music comes in crystal clear, sounds amazing, GPS is great. But I had the Sena, oh man, I don't even remember what it is, SMH or something, 10. I put it on my son's helmet and my wife's got it on. You just press one button, it connects right to hers. But I tried everything I could to connect my Lexan to the Sena, and I can't get them to pair up. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna have to buy another Sena, and I'll put that on my old helmet, and then I'll run this Biltwell helmet with my Lexan whenever I'm by myself, and whenever I'm with them, I'll run my Bell helmet with the Sena on it. So it's like I tell people, you can never have too many helmets, you can never have too many options, because you never know what you're going to need it for. I don't like to limit my options. I like to have a lot of choices. That's my father-in-law's been trying to get me to come over and do a video on his panhead. He just got his jugs back, just got his heads in from getting worked. So he keeps telling me, oh, come in and make some videos over here. I'll be putting this bike together, but it's kind of been a weird season starter here. So whenever I can get out here, I want to get you guys some footage. Super excited. My son is doing great on the back of this bike. He leans when I lean. He holds on good, so that's great. We're going to be doing a lot of riding this year. I got a lot of stuff coming up. There's going to be a big motorcycle stunt show out at Xena Harley Davidson out in Dayton, Ohio here in about 2 weeks, so hopefully I get out there. He won't be with me on the bike because it's going to be a 3.5-hour ride down there, and he's got a baseball game. So right now, just trying to determine whether or not I want to go to the baseball game with him or whether I want to go to this bike show. But I really want to go to the stunt show. My buddy Andrew Fusco, he just got a Sawicki Speed Shop sponsorship. They just sent him a pipe out. He's going to be out there for this event. Bunch of good dudes I went down to Daytona with, so I'd really like to show up out there and support them. Did recently pick up a new camera. I got a Panasonic. Just wanted to pick it up for actually doing these videos. It's what I made my last video with. The autofocus is great on it, and it takes some amazing pictures. I want to get another lens for it so I could do a little more up close style photo. But that's the goal here this year, is to bring you guys a lot of content, get out on these bikes, film it. I'm gonna have the camera with me a bunch of places this year, so all my riding I'll film with the GoPro, and then whenever we get to the bike shows, any of that stuff, I'll be filming with the actual camera, or I might be running my Sony. I've got a Sony as well. It takes amazing pictures, but it has no image stabilization, so shooting video is kind of rough with it. It can be done, but I prefer the G95. It's a lot better. It's got 2 different image stabilizations, so there's electronic image stabilization built into the lens and the camera body itself, so it's pretty cool. I've been messing around with that a lot. If any of you guys follow me on Instagram, it's 0hi0hdmc on Instagram. You'll see a bunch of pictures. I've been taking pictures of my son on there with his baseball. Just trying to get used to the camera. I've been switching a bunch of settings, going from shutter priority to aperture priority, just trying to work on that, trying to get some different image qualities and just play around with it. I've been into photography for years. I took a couple college classes, photography classes, so I just love it. Anything to document the beauty in this life, because we're only here for a short time, and it's gorgeous. Even this right here, coming up on these cornfields, the leaves are all starting to bud up real nice. It's amazing what Pennsylvania looks like in the middle of summertime. It's so lush, it's so dense, there's so much thick green foliage out here. So I had a couple friends that were from Texas, and when they came out here, they all said the same thing. They said, man, I never knew there were this many shades of green. And I said, yeah, but we do get a lot of rain. So maybe this year we'll take you guys up to a ride through the forest, go up through Tynesta, Cook's Forest, maybe the Allegheny National Forest, get you guys up there. We go to the Kinzua Dam. It's a nice ride up there. Throw some bread over the edge. There's hundreds of thousands of carp just sitting out there hungry, waiting, so it's a good time. Any excuse to get on the bike and throw some miles down, you know what I mean? These back roads are my favorite. The only thing is, around fall, you want to watch out. Had a buddy go down a little over a year ago. He hit a deer was not wearing a helmet. He went down, he hit his head pretty good. He had to relearn how to eat, relearn how to walk. It's not a good thing. So, you know, nothing scares me more than losing my cognitive abilities. So I just buy real nice helmets, got the Bluetooth on them. And honestly, it feels weird if I ride without one now, especially in the winter time when it's freezing cold. Throw this helmet on, it cuts all that wind out, keeps bugs off my face. All right, this part of the road always makes me a little nervous here because it's kind of a blind bend to get to their house. Dirt road. Alright, you guys, well, thanks for coming for the ride. I'm over here at my father-in-law's house now. We're going to see if he's here, and if not, I'll just click back on. We'll be riding back to the house. How was that, Bubs?
Good.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Was I going too fast or no? Was it good?
It was good.
All right. You ready for Sturgis this year?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if Papa's home.